Hey everybody. Oh, let me get those out of the way. Welcome to, as I adjust my camera, I was sitting down and I set it up. All right, here we go. Welcome to After Further Review. I am your host, Steve Tower, and tonight we are showcasing D6 Pro Football Dynasty. This was, I believe, one of the first games that Al Wilson put out before he put out his Fast Drive Football and then Fast Inning Baseball games. And a nice little quick dice rolling game, where you're leading a coach through his career and trying to make it to 20 years and see how many big games you can win along the way. I'll just jump right into the gameplay because it's pretty easy to pick up. And as with all of Al Wilson's games, these are completely free downloads. And I still need to adjust my camera. There we go. And there's a link down below to the 3D6 website that shows all of the games that are available. So this is the game here. It's just 2 pages, 1 page of rules, and then 1 page that has your score sheet, and then the different sessions of the season. I have laminated mine as I'm a big dry erase fan, and that's all you'll need except for some dice. You'll need 1 die of a different color that is going to be your coach die, and then up to 4 other dice, as well as 1 die that you'll keep down here that is your coach influence. So let's just jump right into things, as all seasons do. It starts with the off season, and we'll go right up here. The first thing it tells you is that following the season, you get a +1 modifier to the die roll if you had a losing season. So the introduction to the game tells you that this team that you just got hired to is coming off a 3-13 season. So indeed, we will get the benefit of that +1 modifier. This is used to simulate that your team's going to get a higher draft pick, which doesn't necessarily translate into wins or into benefiting the team. But let's see what happens. So we'll roll 2d6, and unfortunately we rolled low. So total those together, we get a 4. Add the 1 as a 5. Tells us that there's a disagreement on the roster moves with the GM. And we're going to lose 1 coach influence. influence point. So not a fantastic start. We'll go down here to the bottom of the page. You start the game with 2 coach influence points. You can get up to a total of 6. And if you ever earn more than that, they're just they just go away. But you'll never you'll never be at a loss for how to spend these. So unfortunately, we are going to lose 1 now. So we will go into the season with 1 coach influence point. Coach influence points are the way that you can manipulate the dice. You can use it to re-roll dice during any of the phases of the game. You can change the value of the coach die. And then before you do your off-season roll, you can spend 1 to add a +1 modifier to it. Also, you can spend 1 point to extend your contract by 2 seasons. So we start with a 5-year contract, and right now it's not looking good for us to to get that extended. That's kind of a bad start. The other dice here are the team dice, which I have in this box here. You're going to start with only 3, 2 team dice and your coach die. You can get up to a maximum of 5 dice. You'll never go below the minimum of 3. Obviously, the more dice you have, the better you'll be able to do. And actually, when you first start the game, you cannot advance past the divisional round because once you get to the divisional round, or the conference championship, you need to have 4 dice to get the minimum to advance. So we are going to be trying to, at some point in one of the off seasons, we need to roll an 11 or 12 here in the off season to add a team die. Or anytime you roll a 7 in the off season, you'll go to the front office drama. And on that chart, there are 2 results that'll let you add a team die. But for now, we're just a young, scrappy team, and let's see what we can do. So we'll move down here to Phase 2, the regular season, roll all of our available dice, and see what happens. So the reason why you have the separate colored die for the coach die is because one of the first things is if you ever roll a natural 6 on your coach die, you get a coach influence point, which we did not. So for the regular season and the playoffs, you're looking at them like poker hands. So the higher poker hand you can get with your dice, the better. Right now, we only have 2 of a kind, and we could use our 1 influence point that we have to re-roll 1, 2, or all 3 of these. But I think that I'm just going to take my lumps here in the first season and just get that 2 of a kind. So 2 of a kind says you finish at 7 and 9 and you miss the playoffs. So we are 7 and 9 in our first one, and then we'll head right into the next off season. Unfortunately, we are going to get 0 points for that because for a scoring season, it's 1 point if you have a winning record, and then you earn additional points for each round of the playoffs that you get into. So our first season, 7 and 9, but not into the playoffs. All right, so here we go into the next off season. Again, we will get the +1 modifier because we had a losing record. And you know what? I think I'm going to use that 1 coach influence point that I have, and so we'll have +2 to this roll. And we get an 8, 9, 10. Oh, and we're just going to miss out on that. So this is Advances in Technology, Improves Game Planning, gain 3 coach influence. All right, so we will go into the regular season with 3. Oh, and actually, sorry, that first turn I forgot that before you roll for the regular season, you gain a influence point. You gain 1 your first 10 seasons, and then if you manage to make it to season 11, through seasons 11 through 20, you actually gain 2. All right, so we'll go into the season. We're still rolling 3 dice, but we do have 4 coach influence points now. So let's see what we can do. The best thing that we can do is get a 3 of a kind And if the coach die, if the blue die here is a 4 through 6, we'll sneak into the playoffs at a 9-7 record. And unfortunately, we didn't get a double of anything. So I'm going to spend one die, or one coach influence, and I'm going to re-roll all 3. All right, so now we have 2 4s. Our coach die is a 5, so one of the other ways we can use coach influence is we can just change the value of the coach die. So I'm going to change the value of the coach die to a 4, and there we go. We have 3 of a kind, and our coach die is a 4, so that means that we are 9-7, and we have made it into the wild card round. So here we go, into the playoffs we go. So when you get down here to the playoffs, now we'll be in phase 3. For the wild card round, we need to get 2 pair or 3 of a kind to advance. So with only 3 dice, we can just hope that we get 3 of a kind. Here we go, and we did not. Let's see, and didn't even get 1 pair. So we still have 2 influence that I could use to re-roll. Or save them for the next offseason. I guess I'll use 1, and we'll re-roll everything. And no, I was gonna say I could use it to change the coach die, but that would not help us. So we are going to lose in the wild card round. So a winning season gets us 1 coach. One coach point. And there we go. We have our first points on the board. All right, so heading into season 3. Let's see. So we actually are going to get a 1-year contract extension because we finished the season with a better record than the previous year. So because we improved from 7-9 to 9-7, we will get a 6th season added on to our contract. All right, so now here in the off season, we will not get the benefit of a +1 modifier because we had a winning record. So I'm going to spend my 1 coach influence point. We will get +1 to the roll, and we get a 7 +1 will be 8. So team has great training camp. Gain 1 influence. So I spent 1 to gain 1. All right, so. A good training camp. We'll head into the season. We'll gain our 1 coach point. As we head into the regular season, here we go. Can we improve on our record? Oh boy. Unfortunately, we are not. Because if I spend that to change that to a 3, it would be a 3 of a kind, but the coach die of a 1 to 3, we'd still have a 9-7 record, but we would miss the playoffs. So I think that I'm going to just save my coach influence. And we will just finish with, we'll take the 9-7 and miss the playoffs. All right, so we did not improve our record, so we're not going to get an addition to our contract. So now, here in this offseason, I'm going to go all out, and I'm going to spend both of my coach influence points to add +2 to the offseason roll, because we really need to get another team die on here. Oh, no. Well, so I got a 5, but I'm going to add 2. So the team owner wants to talk. We'll go to the front office drama. In my world here, the owner is Mr. Green, so I'll roll a green D6 and see what happens. So our first time here rolling on the front office drama. We cannot use coach influence on these rolls, which actually right now we don't have any. So let's see what happens. We're hoping for a 5 or a 6. And we get a 2. Oh boy. So GM forces a trade you don't agree with. Remove die from team dice. So that is bad, but it's not going to be terrible because we are already at the minimum of 3, so that will have no effect on us. And we'll head into the next season, or to the regular season. We'll have 1 coach influence point. And oh boy, things are not looking great. Well, I guess we'll spend our 1 influence to change the coach die to a 5. So that gives us 3 of a kind, the coach die of a 5. So 9 and 7. And we are back into the wild card, but we are without coach influence. So here's our roll. Oh, well, we rolled a 6 on the coach die, so that'll give us 1 coach influence. We need to get 3 of a kind. So I could burn that 1 to get a chance to roll a pair of something. Oh boy, oh boy. I really would like to make it to the divisional round, but I think I'm going to hang on to that 1 influence. And we will be 9 and we'll be 9 and 7, and we will lose in the wild card round. So that'll give us another point. So we're at 3 points total as we head into season number 5. Oh boy! So here we go into the off season for our 5th season on the continent. Now we do have a 6th season because of our 2nd year when we improved our record. And then we've been 9 and 7 for 3 straight seasons. So again, we will not get the +1 modifier. I'll use my coach influence to add +1 to it. And there we go. That is going to turn into a 12. Best draft ever. The future is now. So we're going to gain a team die and 2 coach influence. There we go. That is exactly what we needed. So we'll head into the regular season now with 4 team dice. I will gain my 1 coach influence. So we'll have 3. And here we go. Things are looking promising as we head into season number 5. Here we go. Our regular season roll. Let's see. That was not a really great roll with 4 dice. Because the minimum we need, if we had 2 pair and the coach die is 6, that's the smallest hand we can get and still get into the playoffs. So I think I'll use a coach influence and I will re-roll the 2 and the 4. And oh boy. That is I just needed to get a 1 on that, and then I could have changed the coach die. Alright, well, let's spend another influence. Oh boy. I guess we'll re-roll these 2 again. And oh, that is a bummer. Boy, oh boy. So I could... Oh, no. Actually, I'm not going to... Because the only thing I could do is re-roll. Oh, bummer. All right. So we're going to finish, let's see, at 8 and 8. And we will just miss the playoffs. So unfortunately, that's going to be a 0 point. And we will head into our last season here. Oh boy. 1 influence point. We did not have a losing record, so we won't get the modifier. I'm going to take my chance and not use my coach die. Let's see what happens. Oh, and we get a 5. Oh. So disagreement on a roster moves with the GM, so we'll lose that point, and then we'll get it back before the regular season. All right, here we go. Need something positive to happen here. This might be a short stream. Let's see. We got 2 4s, a 5, and a 1. Oh boy. All right. So we'll spend that coach influence and we'll re-roll these 2. And oh no, that is gonna do it. We're gonna end with a 2 of a kind. Which is a 7 and 9 record. We'll miss the playoffs. And then that is going to do it. The GM is going to say, thank you for your service. It is no longer needed, and we're going to end with just 3 points. Ouch, babe. All right. Well, so there we go. Wasn't quite what I was anticipating. I just posted on Facebook. I did 2 test games today, and my second one, I actually ended up with 150 points and made it all the way to season 20. But it wasn't to be here tonight. So so there we go. But the good thing about dry erase boards is you can wipe that away and then start another game right up. So I'm gonna roll out another one. But thank you everybody who has tuned in. Again, this is D6 Pro Football Dynasty, available for free over at the 3D6 Games website. I posted a link down in the show notes below. So please be sure to visit there and check out this game and all the great games that Al Wilson has. And again, absolutely free download for you. So, all right, so here we go. We'll take 2 here. So starting our first off season, we'll roll here. We get the +1 because of the losing season previously. And this is going to give us a 10. Oh, gosh, and I should have... oh, that's a bummer. I could have used the... if I would have used 1 influence, I would have gained the team die. Let's see, because a 10 is going to give us... we're going to gain 3. So that'll bring us up to 5, and then we'll gain 1 as we start the regular season. So we are going to have 6 coach influence as we head into this first regular season. And let's see. We are going to... It's tempting to re-roll, but I think I'm going to save these 6 and spend it in the next off season. So we'll have 2 of a kind, which gives us a 7-9 record, and we will miss the playoffs in our first season. All right, so back to the off season. I'm going to spend 4 points, and then the because we had a losing record, that'll add 1. So this is going to be a +5 roll. And there we go. That will give us the 12, the best draft ever. We'll gain the team die, and we are going to gain 2 coach influence points. That worked out well. We'll gain our 1 heading into the regular season, and things are already looking more promising. The coach die of a 6 will give us 1 coach influence. Let's see. All right, we'll spend an influence, and I'm gonna re-roll. Well, let's see. If I could get a straight. Yeah, I'm gonna re-roll these 3. Oh, and there we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that worked out well. So a 4 die straight with the coach die of 2 to 6 is going to give us a 10-6 record, and we are into the playoffs. All right. So wild card round. We are looking for either 2 pair or a 3 of a kind. So I will spend 1 coach influence, and I will change the coach die to a 1, which will give us 2 pair. And there we go. We got our first playoff win here in our second season. The divisional round, same thing, 2 pair or 3 of a kind. And let's see, we got 2 2s and a 6 and a 4. All right, I'll spend the coach influence, and I'll re-roll the 6 and the 4. And hey, there we go. We got 4 of a kind. That will win us the divisional round. We're into the conference championship. Here in the conference championship, we need either a 4 die straight or a 4 of a kind. Let's see. Oh, well, we rolled a 6 there, so that'll give us an extra coach influence. And we can then immediately spend that coach influence to make this a 3. And there we go. We have a 4 dice straight. And we have won the conference championship. That'll give us +1 coach influence. And we're at the big game. And then, unfortunately, to win the big game, you need a full house or a 5 of a kind. So we will roll, and we're just hoping to get a 6 on the coach die, which we do. Boy, actually, that worked out pretty well. So we will lose in the big game. So we get 1 point for the winning season, 2 points for the wild card, 3 points for winning the divisional round, and then 4 points for the conference championship. So that'll give us 10 points. We already tripled our score from the last game. And then we get a 3-year contract extension for winning the conference championship. So now we will go through at least season number 8. There we go. All right. So into the next off season. Let's see. I will spend 1 influence for the off-season roll to add 1 to it. Oh, and that's going to bring us up to a 5, which is we lose 1 influence, and then we'll gain that back as we start the regular season. All right, so a lot of disagreements here between coach and GM. So here we go. Let's see if we can what we do to follow up our first winning season that got us to the big game. And that is kind of a lot of nothing. Uh-oh. Well, oh boy. It's not good rolling pairs of 1s here in the regular season. I'll spend the 1 coach influence, and I'll hang on to that 6, and then I'll re-roll these 3. Oh boy. No, sir, I don't like it. All right, I'll spend 1 more. Reroll these 3, and then... Oh, darn. So we're going to end up with just the 2 of a kind. So we're going to go back to a losing record, 7-9, and miss the playoffs. So the big game jinx. When you lose, we definitely suffered that. So we go back to a losing record. So no points in our 3rd season. All right, so off season, we will spend 1 coach influence, and then we will also get the +1 modifier for having a losing record. So +2 to the roll, hoping to get that 15 die. 7, 8, 9. Addition to coaching staff has an immediate impact. Gain 2 coach influence points. So we'll be up to 3, and then we'll be at 4 heading into the regular season. All right, trying to bounce back, and hey, there we go. 3 of a kind. Coach die is a 4, so that is 9 and 7, and we are back to the dance. All right, here the wild card round. Need 2 pair, 3 of a kind. So we got a pair of 5s. Well, we'll just spend the 1 influence to make the coach die a 5. That'll give us 3 of a kind. And a win in the wild card round. Heading into divisional weekend. Again, need 2 pair or 3 of a kind. Oh, and we get no pairs. So, I'll spend the influence and we'll just re-roll everything. Well, there we go. That's what I was kind of hoping for. So the 6 gains us back. But again, no pairs of anything. Alright, I will spend 1 more influence and we'll roll them all again. And, oh, well, we'll gain it back. Come on, can I roll 1 pair of something? Alright, well, might as well go for it 1 more time here. See if it's meant to be. There is a pair of 4s. Ah, man. I don't want to go into the offseason with just 1. All right, so I'll take my lumps here. We'll lose in the divisional round. So that'll give us 1 for the winning season, 2 points for the wild card, so 3 points there. Back to a winning record. Head into the off season of season number 5. And actually, we will gain another year because you're in a 1-year contract extension by finishing the season with a better result than the previous year. So now our extension is up to season 9. I'll spend the 1 coach influence. Give us a +1 on the off-season roll. Oh, darn. That's going to take us to a 5 again. So we're going to just trade off. We'll argue with the GM to lose a point, and then we'll gain it back as we go into the regular season. Boy, oh boy. The GM and I just not seeing eye to eye here. So here's our regular season roll. Oh, boy. And this is not looking good. I feel like I just want to kind of take the lumps and because going into the playoffs with no coach influence is yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. So we don't have anything, so no scoring roll. You miss the playoffs and the coach die determined. So we're gonna finish with 5 wins. So we'll be 5-11. And that'll be no points. All right, so into the off season for season 6. Now I'll spend that 1 coach influence. We'll get +1 for a losing season. And we're just gonna miss out. Darn. So 10. That's the advances in technology. So we're gonna get 3. And then +1 for heading into the regular season. All right, so here we go. Now we have 4 coach influence. Still just 14 dice though. 3 of a kind with the coach die of 4 will get us back into the playoffs. So 9 and 7, and back to the wild card round we go. Let's see. Well, there we go. I'll spend 1 coach influence to change that to a 3, and that'll give us 3 of a kind. Another wild card win. 3rd time under my tenure. Here in the divisional round, again, 2 pair, 3 of a kind is what we're looking for. We'll spend 1. Oh, all right, we'll roll these 2. And, there we go, 2 pair. So back to the conference championship. We still have 2 coach influence to spend. And indeed, we can spend 1 to make that into a 3 and give us a 4 die straight. So we'll get our 2nd conference championship into the big game. And unfortunately, we won't have enough firepower to win the big game, but maybe we can roll a 6. Oh, actually, we're going to gain 1 for winning the conference championship. So look for a 6 on the blue, and we don't get it, so we'll suffer our 2nd big game loss. But things looking up now. All right, so again, winning a conference championship will extend our contract by 3 seasons, so we're up to season 12 now. All right, and let's go all. I'm going to spend both influence points on the off-season roll. Here we go. Looking for a 9 or better on the dice. And we get a 4. Darn. So that's a 6. Late round draft picks are a bust, which would have us lose 1 coach influence point, which we don't have. All right, so here we go. Season 7. We'll gain our 1 to begin the season. Well, there we go. 3 of a kind. And the coach die is a 5, so 9 and 7. Into the wild card round. In the wild card round, we do roll a pair, so we'll... I guess we'll spend the 1 influence to change that to a 2. So we'll have 2 pair. Now into the divisional round. And, oh, well, we get that. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. We'll take the divisional round loss. So 3 points on the season. Into the offseason we go for season number 8. I'll spend the 1 coach influence. Now we need a roll of 10 or better. And we don't get it. Oh my gosh. Let's see. What is this? Draft day, or that'd be a 3. 4, sorry. Draft day moves are criticized by ownership. Oh my goodness. This owner, Mr. Green, we're just butting heads. All right, so here we go into the season 8. And we get 1, 2, 3. Well, we can spend that to make it a 4. So that gives us a 4 die straight. And the coach die is 2 through 6. So that is 10 and 6. Tied for our best record so far and into the playoffs, but we'll have no coach influence. So here in the wild card, oh, we wanted to roll a 6. Well, or roll a winning hand, but we won't. So we're going to take a wild card loss. So 10 and 6, and we lose in the wild card. We will get a point for the winning season. And into the off season we go. This time with no influence on the roll. All right, come on, Mr. Green. What are you going to do to us here? Oh, and another bad roll. So we'll lose our non-existent coaching influence. Oh, game 1 as the season starts. Is the team starting to grow tired of me? Well, there we go. There's 3 of a kind, but the coach die is a 2. So that is going to be a 9 and 7, and we will miss the playoffs. We'll get a point for the winning record. And back into the offseason. This is season number 10. Boy. I'm going to save the 1 influence point that I have. Oh, and we get a 7. So we are... The owner wants to talk. All right, so here we go. We need to get a 5 or a 6. Is what we really need here. So here we go. And we get a 6. There we go. Blockbuster trade. We will gain that last team die, and we will get 3 coach influence points. Okay, so there we go. The GM pulls off a magnificent trade, and now we are rocking and rolling. We'll gain our 1 point as the season begins, and now we have a full hand of 5 dice that we can do some damage. The 6 will give us 1 coach influence. We're at our max of 6. Let's see. We got a pair of 2s. We could go for a... Yeah, I guess we'll spend 1 influence. Turn this to a 5, and that will give us a 4 die straight with a coach die of 5, so 10 and 6. And into the wild card round with 5 coach influence, so we can make a deep run here, hopefully. Let's see. Well, that'll work. We'll spend 1 coach influence to change the 1 to a 6, so 3 of a kind. Win in the wild card round. Here in the divisional round, well, we'll roll another 6. So back up to 5. We don't roll a... Oh, no. Well, we have a pair of 6s. But unfortunately, that's the coach die. So we'll spend 1 to roll these 3. And there we go. There's our 3 of a kind. So we win the divisional round. Into the conference championship. Still with 4... coach influence. Let's see. Conference championship. Oh, there we go. We got the 4 die straight. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that, and we will get a +1 to our coach influence. So here we go. We are into the big game. And we have 5 coach influence. So, let's see how we do. Oh, guys, sorry in the chat. I don't know what's going on with my internet tonight, but I have about a 15-second delay. I don't know why. I usually have about like a 5-second delay. So sorry, I'm seeing your your comments about 15 seconds later when they come up. All right, so here we go. Our big game. This is our best chance to win. Well, actually, our only chance so far. Here we go. So in the big game, you need either a full house or a 5 of a kind. So here we go. And in our first roll, we get a pair of 2s. Oh, and the coach die is the 2. Alright, so we'll spend influence. And we'll re-roll these 3. And, oh, well, there we go. Now we got a pair of 6s. So we've got 2s and 6s. And now we'll have 3 cracks at getting a 6 or a 2 on one die. So here we go. And there it is. A full house, 2s over 6s. And we have won the big game in year 10. And that'll give us 20 big points. All right, so there we go. And we will also gain back an influence. So winning the big game gets you 5 years. So that'll take us through year 17. And we are in pretty good shape here. Unless, of course, Mr. Green does something nefarious in the offseason. So here's our offseason roll. And, oh, and we get a 12. How about that? So we would normally gain a team die. That's funny, but we could have used that earlier. So you cannot gain, you cannot have more than 5 dice. But we will take the 2 influence points. And now, in year 11... we would normally gain 2 coach influence points because we are into our 11th season, but you cannot have more than 6 coach influence points. So we are just bursting at the seams here after our first victory in season 10. So what can we do to defend our titles? Oh, let's see. We roll a pair of 2s and then a 1, 4, 6. Well, let's see. If we... well, we could change this to a 4-die straight. And that'll get us into 4-die straight with a coach die of 3, gets us into the playoffs at 10 and 6. I could, well, you know what? I kind of like having the 5 influence, so we'll take that. 10 and 6, wild card round going, and we have 5 coach influence to take us on our run here. So we'll spend one of those to get 3 of kind. Winning the wild card round into the divisional, and we roll 2 pair without even needing to re-roll. So back to the conference championship. 4-die straight or a 4 of a kind needed. Let's see. Oh, and we roll 2 pair. Let's see. And we can't make this, well, actually, no, we can't make this straight. All right, so I'll hold on to the 2s. I'll spend a coach influence. 2. Oh, no, that should be a 3. I'll spend that to re-roll these 3. And there we go. 4 of a kind. We rolled a 6. We're back up to 4. Then we'll gain 1 for winning the conference championship. And here we go. Trying to win back-to-back championships, and we are in really good shape now. Let's see. So, how about that? The 6 gives us a coach influence, and then we'll just turn around and spend it and turn this into a 4 to give us our full house. And that is another championship back-to-back in years 10 and 11. And boy, oh boy, now everything's coming up roses for the team here. All right, and we will gain the influence for winning the championship. All right, so here we go into the off-season for season 12. Oh, and actually that will extend us all the way through season 20. That is the most you can get is 20 seasons. And then you're forced to retire. All right, so season 12. Let's spend 1 to add 1 to the off-season roll, just in case. That'll bring us up to 9, and we'll max out our coach influence. All right, here we go. Can we get a three-peat? Well, that is not a great first roll. We'll spend 1 influence to re-roll these 3. And that will give us 3 of a kind, but still missing the playoffs. Let's spend 1 more. Re-roll these 2. And, oh, darn. All right, we'll take a crack at it 1 more time. And there we go. So 4 of a kind gets us 11 and 5, which is our best regular season record. And into the playoffs, we do have to start in the wild card round. All right, wild card round. And we roll 2 pair naturally. We like that. So we'll head into the divisional round, still with 3 coach influence. And look at that, 4 of a kind. So we'll easily win the divisional round. Into the conference championship for the 3rd season in a row. The 6 will gain an influence. So let's see. We need 4 die straight or 4 of a kind. So we'll spend 1 influence. Get down to 3. We'll change that to a 3, and there is 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, it's a 5 die straight. So we'll win our 3rd conference championship. We'll gain back 1 coach influence. And here we go for the three-peat in year 12. Again, we need a full house or a 5 of a kind. Ooh, and that is a pretty bad roll. Oh, because I hate having the coach die be the one that's part of just a pair when you need 5 of a kind. I feel like we're probably... Oh, no, actually, you can't do a straight for this one. Oh, no. You know what? I think I'm going to spend the coach influence, and we're just going to re-roll everything. And, oh, there we go. So we've got 2 pair. And so we'll have 3 cracks at it to try to roll a 3 or a 5. And there's 1. Oh, come on. 2, our last chance for the three-peat. Oh, no. Time ticking away. And there's the 5 on the last re-roll. We are three-peat champions. Back to back to back. All right. So that will gain us back 1 influence to start the next off-season. And there we go. It is a dynasty. For sure. Okay, so here we go into our next off season. We're gonna take a chance and not spend a die on the off-season chart. Let's see what happens. And oh, and we get a 5, so that we'll lose that 1 influence. Then heading into the regular season, we will gain 2 now for our experienced coach. So here we go, trying to defend the Three-peat championship. Can we go for 4 in a row? Let's see how our regular season turns out. Let's see, 2 5s, so I could spend 1 to get a 4 die straight, and that would get us at 10 and 6 and into the playoffs. Do I have a chance to? Oh no, actually, if I turn that into a 4, then that's a 5 die straight. And that'll get us to 13 and 3 and a first round bye. Okay, I like that. All right, so but down to just 1 coach influence. All right, so here we are in the divisional round, and we get 1 pair. Oh darn. And the coach die is part of the pair. Oh, that's like the worst. Oh, no. Huh. Alright. So we'll spend it, and oh boy. I guess we'll re-roll these 3, and we need 1 of them to be a 3. And actually get 2 of them. Alright, so we pull out the divisional round win into the conference championship. Still no influence. Oh boy. So we need a 4 die straight or 4 of a kind, and we need it on 1 roll, or we need to roll a 6 on the coach die. Is this where the dynasty ends? Oh, and indeed it is. Darn, we got 2 pair. And that is not going to cut it. So we will lose in the conference championship. So that will give us 10 points. Or no, sorry, that will give us, 1, 2, 3. That'll give us 6 points for the season. Oh, bummer. All right, so we'll head into season number 14. And we will start with no influence. Let's see what the GM has in store for us. Oh, and it's a 7. So he wants to talk to us. Front office drama. Oh, goodness. And we get a 3. Busy offseason. Keeps team in the headlines. Collect 1 coach influence or roll again. I'm going to just take the 1 coach influence because I don't want to take a chance. There are 2 rolls. If you roll a 1 or a 2, you actually lose a team die. So we'll just take the 1. We'll gain 2 as we head into the regular season. Season number 14. Let's see if we can bounce back from that loss. And we get 2 pair. But we need the coach die to be a 6 in order for that to give us anything. So, oh boy. I guess I'll keep the pair of 1s and we'll re-roll down to 2 influence. That gives us, oh boy. So 3 of a kind, and the coach die is a 5, so that'll get us back into the playoffs. So 9 and 7. And back into the wild card round, we do have 2 influence to spend. Oh, is the Fire Coach Tower chance already starting? All right, we need 2 of a kind, or 3 of a kind, or 2 pairs. So we'll have to spend 1 influence to get by the wild card round. Into the divisional round, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, and and we get it on the first roll. All right, into the conference championship for the 5th season in a row. Let's see. And we got 3 threes. Oh, no. So we need a 4-die straight or a 4 of a kind. 1 coach influence. We will spend it to re-roll these 2. And, boy, actually, that was a 5 and a 6. I think it would make more sense to keep the 3 and then re-roll these 2. Because I need a 4, or if I roll a 6 on the coach die, I'll get another influence. So here we go. Looking for a 4. And we don't get it. And the coach die is a 2. So we will once again lose in the conference championship. Now in back-to-back seasons. Heading into season number 15. No influence to spend. Oh no, when we roll a 3. Oh no, unexpected injury to key team player, and we are going to lose a team die. Oh, that is brutal. So now we're back down to 4 dice, and it might be a rough last a few seasons. Now only with 4 dice to roll, but we get a 4-die straight written on the first roll, and the coach die is a 5, so 10 and 6 into the playoffs. Wild card round, 2 pair or 3 of a kind we're looking for. And we get a 4-die straight, but that does not help us in the wild card. We'll spend 1 to re-roll everything. And that is not going to do it. All right, I'm going to save the 1 coach influence. So we'll lose in the wild card round. And we get 1 point for the winning season. Here in the offseason, I'll spend my 1 coach influence to add 1. And that'll take us to 10. Oh, darn. So that'll give us 3. We'll get 2 heading into the season. But still 4 team dice. And we get 2 pair, but the coach die is 1. That would be missing the playoffs. So we'll spend 1, re-roll these 2. And that gives us 3 of a kind, and so we'll be 9 and 7. Back into the wild card round with 4 influence to spend. Now 5 influence to spend. And, but we'll go ahead and just spend that 1. Back down to 4 to give us a 3 of a kind. Change the coach die, so we'll win the wild card round. After getting bounced last year. Divisional round. Oh, well, there's a 6. So back up to 5 influence. No pairs of anything. So we'll spend 1, re-roll them all. And then we'll spend 1 to make that a 3 of a kind. So into the conference championship, 3 coach influence to spend. Let's see, a 4-die straight or 4 of a kind. Oh, when we roll a 6 again. Boy, the coach die is hot. Let's see. I guess we'll keep the 2 and the 3. And I'll spend to re-roll these 2. And there's the 4. Let's spend 1 more. So we need a 1 or a 5. And we get the 5. So, hey, another conference championship into the trophy box. We'll gain a coach influence. And then, again, we will not be able to win the big games since we lost that team die. But if we get a 6, we'll get 1 more influence. And, oh, that's too bad. That close to a full house, but didn't have enough firepower this year. So loss in the big game will give us 10 points on the season. So yes, there we go. Bob, I just saw your comment about the narrative you can go with here is that the owner mortgaged the future for those 3 championships. All right, so here we go. Into the off season, I am going to spend 2 coach influence on the roll. So we're adding 2 to the roll. So So 7, 8, 9, and we'll just gain them back, and then we'll gain 2 into the offseason. So we'll start with 5. This is year 17. Let's see. I guess we'll spend 1 to re-roll. And, ooh, uh-oh. Alright, well, we'll spend 1 more to re-roll. And there we go. So 4 die straight gets us 10 and 6 into the wild card round. 3 coach influence to spend. And there's our 2 pair. Divisional round. A 6 will give us 4, but we're going to immediately spend it to re-roll. Ooh, let's spend 1 more to re-roll. And there we go. There's 2 pair. Into the conference championship once again. Ooh, and we get 3 of a kind on the first roll. You know what? I'm gonna take the loss to hang on to those 2 coach influence. So that'll give us 6 points. We'll head into season 18. And I'm going to spend both of those to add 2 to the roll. And there we go. That will be a 12. So we're going to have another fantastic draft. We'll get back that team die, and we will gain 2 coach influence. Gain 2 more as the season starts. And here we go. Season 18. Reloading for one last run here. And we roll a 4 of a kind. Is it worth spending the re-roll to try to get 5 of a kind? 5 of a kind. Well, oh, actually, if that had been a 2 and I got 5 of a kind on the first roll, that would have been a 16-0 season. That would have been something. You know what? Because if you get a 5 of a kind, then it's you'd be 15-1 and you get the first round bye. I don't know if it's worth. I'm gonna save it. We'll take the being 11-5 and into the wild card. All right. So 4 influence to spend. Wild card round. So we'll spend the 1 to make that 3 of a kind. Winning the wild card round. Into the divisional round we go. And we'll get... well, actually, we got 4 of a kind. All right. Still with 3 coach influence as we head into the conference championship. And we get 2 pair. So we need 4 of a kind or a 4 die straight. So I'm going to keep the... I'll keep the 2 1s. We'll spend a coach influence to re-roll. And, and there we go. 4 of a kind. And once again, we are into the big game. We'll gain a coach influence for winning the conference championship. So here we go. And 3 coach influence as we're trying for what might be my last chance at a championship to get ring number 4. All right, here is the roll. And let's see, so we need full house or 5 of a kind. And we get 1 pair, but it's the coach die. Oh, I kind of hate when that happens. All right, well, I guess we'll keep those 2 5s. Spend our first coach influence. First re-roll. Oh, and there's 2 5s. All right, so here we go. We've got 2 chances to roll a 5 on this last die. Here's the first one. Oh, and here's the second one. Come on, 5. No. Oh, we're going to come up just short. Oh, and lose in the big game. Oh, that's a bummer. All right. So once again, we will head into the off season with no coach influence to spend. Year 19, and it's a 6, so it would lose an influence, which we don't have. We'll gain 2 for the season. Here we go. Let's see. We get... All right. Well, let's spend 1. Reroll these 2. And there we go. There's a 4-die straight. So that'll be 10 and 6 into the playoffs, but this time with only 1 coach influence to spend. Wild card round. We get 3 of a kind. Divisional round. Well, there's 2 pair, and we rolled a 6. Hey, all right. Into the conference championship. We're not going to go down quietly. Let's see. As we get... All right. Well, this isn't terrible, so we'll keep the 3, 4, 5. And we'll re-roll these 2. We just need a 1 or a 2 or a 6 on either of them. And there's the 6 for our 4-die straight. Back into the big game. And we'll be into the big game with 2 coach influence. Oh boy, can we get the 4th ring? Oh boy. Or yes, we're 3 and 3 in championship games. This is a legacy defining role here. Let's see what happens. As we get a pair of 6s to start things off. So again, we need a full house or a 5 of a kind. So we'll spend 1. We'll keep the 6s, reroll these 3. And there's another pair. So 1 roll, we need a 1 or a 6. Or a 2 or 6, and we get a 3. Oh, darn. So back-to-back losses in the big game. Oh, no. All right, so here we go. The coach has announced that this will be his last season. We will have no influence to spend on the off-season roll. And it's a 4, so we'd lose influence that we don't have. Get our 2 to start the season, and here we go. Our last crack at another ring. Oh, no. All right, well, we'll spend 1 to re-roll these 3. Oh, and there we go. The 6 will gain us that influence back, and we end up with a 4 of a kind. So 11 and 5. Into the playoffs we go. Let's see. Oh, yes, you're right. I forgot about the second loss, Al. Yeah, so we're 3 and 5 in the championship game. All right, here we go. Our last time in the playoffs. And, well, we get 2 pair in the first roll. Clutching on to those 2 coach influence points. Divisional round. Again, we get 2 pair right on the first roll. Conference championship. Let's see. We get 2 pair and a 2. So we're going to have to... All right, well, we'll hold on to the 5. Use a reroll to roll these 3. Well, we'll gain 1 back, and then we'll spend it again to re-roll. So again, we'll gain 1, and then we'll spend to re-roll. Oh boy. Come on, we need... oh boy. Well, our last influence to spend, and we get oh no, we get a full house, but we needed 4 of a kind. Oh, we're gonna lose in the conference championship. Oh, all right. And that is how our career is going to end. Let's see. We will end up with 3, 6, 7, 8, 14, 20, 21, 27, 33, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we're going to finish with 143 points, 3 championships, 1, 5 lost. But overall, a pretty successful career. Just unfortunately, yeah, we had the three-peat and then just could not get back, or got back in there 3 times, but then ended up losing all 3 to end there. So there we go, guys. Again, this is D6 Pro Football Dynasty. This is a free download from friend of the channel, Al Wilson, over on his 3D6 site. There's a link down in the show notes below. Please check that out. Check out all of his fantastic games. Thank you, Al, for stopping by tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by tonight. This was a good crowd here. Glad I got to showcase this game, and we got 2 games in. So there we go. All right, guys. Please leave a like on your way out the door. We are getting really, really close to 50 members of the channel. So if you are not a member and you'd like to consider supporting the channel, that way you can click the join button down below for more details. Until next time, my name's Steve. Get out there, have fun, play games, and I will see you after further review. Have a good night, everybody.